Welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, RJ Carbone. You are listening to BD4, where there's no better way to get your Yankees and Knicks analysis. We also do MMA. Yanks every series, Knicks every game, MMA on occasion. Let's get to it.
Anthony for three. That one goes down, and the game is tied.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
The Yankees are champions of baseball.
Shaking and baking right here on the neophyte.
You guys trying to close the show.
She was doing a great job of feeding.
That is it.
It's over.
Don't you regret not coming to the net? Don't you regret not coming to the net?
Game over. World Series over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
That was nice. We're getting right into it in the show. Welcome to the show, episode 735. I have to dash to work very soon, so we're going to try to get this episode in. That was a nice win. You know, the Yanks spoiled the sweep in Game 4 last night. You know, if you want to talk yourself into delusion, you know, the Yanks responded the way they needed to. You know, they have lacked power in these first three World Series games. Well, they scored 11 runs. They had 6 extra base hits, 3 doubles, 3 bombs. You know, the bottom of the order gave them production, which has been a problem for them. You know, the 7, 8, 9 bats, Volpe, Wells, Verdugo batted 500 together, 5 hits, 2 walks, 7 RBIs between the three of them. You know, and it was a blowout victory, which the Yankees haven't had that big blowout victory this postseason, right? Like, every game this postseason has felt very close. The Yankees won this game by 7 runs. So it was a win at home. It got the Bronx crowd in it. You have one more in the Bronx tonight with Gerrit on the mound. You know, and the bullpen continues to be very promising for you. They won 5 innings, no runs. They struck out 7. So, you know, between Hill, Holmes, Leiter, Weaver, Meza, they were all very good. That's the positive. If you want to talk yourself into, okay, maybe there's some life here. And, you know, I still think this series is over, but it was nice to witness a win in the Bronx. It was nice to witness a first World Series victory in a game in 15 years, you know. So that was nice. And to my family, let's keep this pattern going. You know, the first 2 rounds, watching all together on the patio outside, that worked. Last night, my sister stayed at her apartment. I stayed in the living room. My brother watched it separately. We all watched it separately. Let's keep that going. Let's not, you know, watch the games together anymore. Whatever works, we got to be unselfish here. So it was a nice win, you know. I would like to look back at this and say this is going to be the beginning of the documentary, what they show. You know, Volpe's swing to save the season, or the stereotypical Yankees fan saving the season. How about that? This is why I love being a Yankees fan, because they always just trigger the other 29 fan bases. Last night in the beginning of the game, you had that Yankees Goomba and his buddy ripping Pookie Betts' arm out on that foul ball. That was amazing. I loved it. People were going to cry and be sensitive over it. That was hilarious, seeing Mookie throw a tantrum. But yeah, this is why I love us. People are going to hate us. They're never going to like Yankees fans. So embrace that. Embrace it and play that bit. That's what I've been doing all year. I love it. I love just how sensitive baseball fans get. You know, you say the word Yankees and it's like they go nuts, like that dude in Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the end there. They just they go nuts. That's why I love us, you know. So it was a nice win. I liked scrolling Twitter last night, seeing Dodgers fans bitch and complain and worry and panic. Then there were the other half of Dodgers fans complaining that, well, we didn't use our leverage arms. Well, guess what? Don't give up a grand slam, and you won't have to. You had a bullpen game. Maybe build a pitching rotation that's not full of guys who are in the hospital every year. Tyler Glasnow. So good win for the Yankees. I love being arrogant, so I'm going to continue to be arrogant as long as the Yankees are in these games. And then whenever they lose the World Series, whether it's tonight or, Thursday, Friday, whatever, that'll be that then. But for now, I'm going to keep riding this shtick because I love triggering the other 29 fan bases. The Yankees won with Luis Gil on the mound. He was not good. Top of the first inning. I mean, is there any other way to begin the game? Freeman doing his thing. A 2-run homer off of Gil. Come on, at this point. This guy's probably going to win the World Series MVP. He gets a slider outside the zone, so it wasn't a terrible pitch, but he gets the bat on it, and he goes to the short porch. He pulls the ball on the outside part of the plate. I mean, that's I shouldn't say he's probably going to get the MVP. He's going to get the MVP, and he deserves it. So it's 2-0 Dodgers. Top of the second, Gavin Lux with a leadoff double off of Luis Gil, but he escapes it by getting Will Smith to pop up and then gets a line drive double play to escape the inning there. Bottom two, Verdugo produces a run with an RBI ground out off of their first reliever, Kasperius, who started the game for 2 innings. 2-1 Dodgers. Bottom three, that's when the Yankees really make their mark. That's where you get the Volpe grand slam, which we'll talk about that. 5-2 Yankees. Top five, the Will Smith home run off Luis Gil. Can't give him an 0-2 pitch in the zone. He does, gone. And then Freeman with the RBI ground out off Tim Hill, who comes into the game afterwards. It was initially a ground ball double play, but the call was overturned, so the run did score. Freeman's on first. It's 5-4 Yankees. Big home run in the 6th inning from Austin Wells to give them some insurance. This was off of some guy named Knack. It's 6-4. Bottom 8, Verdugo, another RBI ground ball. Torres follows with a home run later, and then Judge with a base hit. That was all off of Honeywell, who threw 50 pitches in just the 8th inning alone. That guy sucks. So that was your final. 11-4 was your final. The Yankees win Game 4 in the Bronx. Anthony Volpe. This was such a cool night for him, man. A special night for Anthony Volpe. To have him go and do that, it's just, he had a really good night, man. In the field, he was making some nice plays. On the bases, he was very active. Did have that one moment, but, at bat, he was obviously very good. He had 2 stolen bases. The grand slam, man. The grand slam with 2 outs in the inning and the Yankees down. He gets a slider low and in off of Hudson, and he gets the bat on it, and he pulls it to left field for a big grand slam. The Bronx went insane. And again, this is where I love triggering other fan bases. It's like, you don't want us to go insane? I'm reading comments last night. It's like, going insane, down 3-0. Well, yeah, it's a World Series game. You guys cry and you complain and you get all sensitive when we boo. We're cheering because the Yankees just hit a grand slam in the World Series to take the lead. Like, of course they're going to cheer. But it was awesome. He made up for a big base running error in the 2nd inning there. How he didn't score from second base there was beyond me. But it was good that he made up for it with the grand slam. And just an awesome moment, too, at the end of this game. If you haven't seen it, I'd advise you to go check it out. Anthony Volpe's interview with the Fox post-game crew after the game was sick. It was a really cool moment. Just watching him talk with those guys on the panel. I mean, this is just one of us who made it, right? Italian-American kid from New Jersey. How many of us dream of being a shortstop with the Yankees How many of us probably fantasize about a moment like that, hitting a grand slam in the World Series? He does that. And now he gets to talk to Derek Jeter, the guy who's been consistently compared to, about it in the postgame. He's shooting the shit with Jeter, with A-Rod. You know, he takes a photo with Jeter after the game. He's got dirt all over his uniform. It was a really cool moment, man. You know, just really cool, especially for those of us from Jersey to see a kid like that make it. You know, it's extra special for us to watch. So I liked seeing that. But yeah, Anthony Volpe continues to swing the bat well. It's been a strong first postseason for Anthony Volpe, right? He did struggle in his first couple World Series games, but he went 1 for 4 with a base hit in Game 3, better. And then last night, 2 for 3, reaches base 3 times, produces 4 RBIs, you know, and his line this postseason, he's batting .273 with a .407 on base percentage. That's what I love. It's the fact that he's consistently getting on base. His at-bats have been much stronger. He's had a couple of bad ones, but I hope this is promise for the future, man. You know, it's going to be about those laying off those curveballs. You know, he's shown flashes at times, but there's just been no consistency throughout the season where he's laying off that curve. You know, that's got to be, you know, that loop in his swing sometimes. Every once in a while it'll come back. But it was an awesome moment for him, and you're hoping that he and the Yankees can build off of this and see what happens. So good for Anthony Volpe. The bullpen continues to be lights out. Absolutely lights out. You know, the starting pitching has been lackluster all postseason long. Really all postseason long. Outside of Cole, nobody's giving you length. You know, Rodon had that one good start, but that's it. Like the rotation's been bad. Schmidt couldn't get out of the third. Heel has been bad in his 2 starts. So it's been the bullpen that's kept the Yankees in these games, and it's helped them get here. You know, as much as they don't have swing and miss, you know, that's the big thing that scares me, is they don't have a ton of swing and miss in that back end of the bullpen. They get a ton of ground balls. You know, they're doing it the old school way. They're mixing and matching, and it's worked. You know, they have a 2.47 ERA in 13 postseason games this year. They only have 52 strikeouts and 58 in the third innings, but again, they're getting ground balls. They've induced 5 ground ball double plays, which is the most in the postseason. They've induced 60 ground outs, which is the most in the postseason. They have a 1.07 ground out to fly out ratio, which is third in the postseason behind Houston and San Diego, which Houston played 2 games, San Diego 7. In the World Series, their bullpen 19 2/3 innings so far, 5 earned runs, which gives them a 2.29 ERA. So, I mean, you take away that Cortez moment, it's been really good for them. Tim Hill last night comes in first in relief, gets 2 outs there, lets up a hit, but no runs scored. Continues to be very reliable for the Yankees. Clay Holmes coming in looking very sharp. An inning and a third, no runs, 2 strikeouts. That 2-seamer was looking filthy, dotting it away from the lefties, going inside to righties with it. Sweeper wasn't bad either. Mark Leiter, you know, comes in a high leverage spot, gives you 2/3 of an inning, walk, no runs, 2 strikeouts. He's had a good postseason. He's pitched in 5 games. He's given you 4 2/3 innings in those games, 1 run, which was the Rizzo moment, and 4 strikeouts. You know, he's putting traffic on the bases. I think he's allowed 8 base runners so far, but he's escaping it with his off speed. He has the big Cleveland game. He was important in Game 2 in the series, late in the game. He was big in Game 3 to relieve Clark Schmidt and keep the Yankees in it. And then he was big last night. He comes in, it's the top of the 7th inning. The Yanks are up 6-4, thanks to Austin Wells. But, you know, it's a close game, and so he needs to get the bottom and then the top of the order out. He gets Will Smith to strike out swinging. His curveball was very good in that at-bat. He gets Tommy Edman at the plate next, and he walks him on 5 pitches. So that brings up Ohtani as the tying run. But he gets Ohtani to strike out swinging on 7 pitches. The first 2 pitches of the at-bat, he actually mislocates. A splitter and then a cutter a little up in the zone, but fortunately it results in an 0-2 count because Ohtani looks at a splitter middle, and then he swings and misses at an 86-mile-an-hour cutter up in the zone, fortunately, to get him 0-2. And then he throws 5 splitters in a row, 3 straight below the zone to even the count or to put the count at full. Edman steals second, and then he goes splitter low in the zone, which Ohtani fouls back. And then he goes splitter low and outside to get a swing and miss for strike 3. So a big ballsy at bat there. Good job by Mark Leiter, who's proven to be the most valuable trade acquisition from Cashman in this postseason. Luke Weaver, interesting move by Boone. I did not hate it, and I would like to think that this was going to be I think Boone was planning on finishing the game with Luke Weaver. Have the Yankees not put the game out of hand in the 8th inning there. He comes into the top of the 7th with 2 outs. He gets Mookie to strike out swinging. He goes 4 fastballs away, cutters and 4-seamers. Then he goes with a 96-mile-an-hour 4-seamer up over the zone to get Mookie to swing and miss. Top of the 8th comes. Boone stays with Weaver, and he has a dominant 1-2-3 inning. He stays away from Freeman, finally. Somebody staying away from Freddie. He goes 4-seamers and changeups away. He gets him to fly out off the 4-seamer. Teoscar Hernandez comes up, strikes out swinging on a changeup. Love seeing him throw a tantrum after that. And I liked seeing Weaver go to the cutter this at-bat, right? We've talked about before, he needs to go to the cutter against righties more. You need something that goes in the opposite direction of the right-handed hitter because he's primarily fastball changeup, which is great versus lefties. But when you're facing a righty, like Big Christmas, you need something that goes away. So I like to see him use that cutter. But he ends up striking him out on the change. And then Muncy comes up to the plate and he strikes him out on a fastball above the zone. So again, I didn't listen to the post game, but I would imagine if the game remained close, Weaver would have came back out for the 9th. But yeah, the Yankees put the Dodgers to bed there versus Honeywell in the 8th inning. And then Meza came out for the 9th and he pitched, I believe, what was a 1-2-3 inning, and the Yankees win. So it was nice. Aaron Judge looked better. He wasn't chasing the off speed as much. I think that's the biggest thing I noticed. He has a base hit and then an RBI late. Final line for him, 1 for 3. He was hit by a pitch. He walked, single RBI. So, yeah, better swings, better at-bats. He didn't strike out in this game. He had that tough 8-pitch walk in the first inning where he spat on multiple sliders low and away. I think he got at least 4 or 5 of them. He took a bunch of them. He fouled off a couple sliders. So that was an at-bat that was, I guess, promising. And then to see what he did the rest of the way. Listen, this is where we are with Judge, which is embarrassing. What are we doing here? We need this guy to mash. This is the captain of the Yankees. He's got the C on his chest, okay? He's a soon-to-be 2-time MVP. We're treating him like he's some rookie prospect coming up. He needs to mash, all right? The fact that whatever he was, 1 for 3, it's nice. Come on. I got to catch myself there. But hey, listen, you got a game tonight. It's the final game at home for the Yankees this season. If you win this, like I said earlier, maybe I'll talk myself into delusion. I personally don't see the Yankees making this miraculous comeback down 3-0 to win it all. But I can say that, you win tonight, it would make it a series because it puts you one win away from tying this thing up going back to LA. It puts you one win away from tying this thing up. You know, you have Cole on the mound against Flaherty tonight. Gerrit Cole was brilliant last time out. He's been really good for you this postseason. You have to think pulling Gerrit Cole early in game one, which you could argue costed the Yankees this World Series, maybe that means they're going to let him empty the tank tonight. That has to mean that. If he's on, let the guy throw 115, 120, 125. I don't care. They're men. This is the World Series. He's your horse. It's the guy you're paying. At this point in his career, you got to let him go all out. Don't mess with anything. No analytics, no saving for another day. This is it for him. You got to let the guy empty the tank here. It's got to be Gerrit Cole, Gerrit Cole, Gerrit Cole. And at the end there, if you need to go to Luke Weaver, go to him. You know, maybe Canely if Cole's not looking good. But the plan should be Cole to Weaver. That's it. Let Cole go as long as you possibly can if he's looking good. But that's it. Can't say I'm back in on the Yankees, but it was a nice moment last night to at least experience that. Hopefully they pick up a win. Hopefully they pick up a win tonight. And if they pick up a win tonight, then we'll see. So that's it. We're going to head to break, get back in a few minutes, and we'll wrap it up with our trivia question. That'll be that. Stay with us.
Hey there, thanks for listening in so far. If you enjoy this episode, please give us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts. And if you're on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks so much. You can follow us on social media as well. On Instagram, we're at BD4Pod and at Rob J. Carbone. On X, we're at BD4Pod and at RJCBD4. And on Facebook, we're BD4. If you're interested in our website, just go to www.bd4blog.com. You can subscribe to our blog on there right on the front page. Just like on the podcast, we cover Yankees, Knicks, and MMA. Also on our website are the links to the different platforms for the podcast. Thanks so much.
Studio 69 Productions is a podcast production agency created by Leo Rodriguez to allow content creators to market their podcast. It's an online platform that will market your podcast or any other project that you're working on. Get in touch with Leo Rodriguez from Studio 69 Productions. You can find Studio 69 Productions on Instagram at Studio69NJ. Studio 69 Productions, where dreams are heard and born.
Thanks for listening to BD4, where there is no better way to get your Yankees and Knicks analysis. We also do MMA, Yanks every series, Knicks every game, and MMA on occasion.
All right, welcome back to episode 735 of BD4. I'm your host, RJ Carbone. Let's get to our trivia to wrap this thing up. All right. Episode 735 here. Our trivia question. True or false? Austin Wells became the youngest Yankee catcher tonight, or last night, I should say. I made this graphic last night. To hit a World Series home run. True or false? Austin Wells became the youngest Yankee catcher last night to hit a World Series home run. True or false? One final time. True or false? Austin Wells became the youngest Yankee catcher last night to hit a World Series home run? Let me know the answer wherever you can reach me. Folks, that's it. That's all we got. The Yanks spoil the sweep in Game 4. We'll see what happens tonight, Game 5. If Gerrit Cole goes out there and shoves, if the Yankees put up another crooked number, then you could talk me into delusion. But even then, like, I don't know, man. This has never been done in a World Series, you know? Maybe if there's a year to do it, it's poetic that it's this year, you know? 20 years since the 04 Yankees-Boston comeback, and, you know, they have their little documentary that they're watching from Cancun that releases this week on Netflix. So maybe it'll be poetic as the Yankees do it to the Dodgers 20 years later. I don't know. All right, everybody. I appreciate you all tuning in. Just remember the Yankees are better than your fan base. So remember that. 27. Later. This episode was brought to you by Anchor.
Hey there! If you stayed the entire way through, we thank you immensely for it. We hope you enjoyed this podcast and that you come back for the next episode real soon. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, download these episodes, and share them with your friends as well. BD4 is a 5-star podcast simply because of you, and we'd like to keep it that way. Have a wonderful day. Go Yankees, and go Knicks!